living life is stage. Hey, hey, 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 love yourself first, explicitly. You overtook yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dreams. Living life is stage. Hey, hey, living life is stage. Hey, hey, living life is stage. Hey, hey, living life is stage. Hey, hey.
Hey, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone has had a relaxing yet productive day, doing the things we need to do. We're still right smack dab in the middle of March Madness, showing up every day, chitting and chatting. I have literally been talking all day today because it started off, hey, Lisa, how are you? It started off early this morning on Miss T with the T. So I know there were a lot of you on there as well. And we were just talking about, having your own business and just getting started and where to go from there. So you do the things, you get your paperwork done. Now you're legit, which means you're too legit to quit. So you got to figure out what to do next. So I am a talking machine today, or I have been a talking machine today. But of course, y'all know I always have to do the thing and just not assume that everybody knows me. I'm your girl, Stae Hall. I am a transformational speaker. I am a certified emotional intelligence and soft skills trainer, as well as life coach, L.Y.F.E. Love yourself first. Explicitly, I'm an author, a mom, a wife, and a maymay. So I'm your girl, Stae Hall. Man, today has been a day, right? So I have a subject. We're supposed to be talking about self-care as a radical act of self-love. And that is what we're going to talk about. But on top of everything I've been doing, like work-wise, hey, Deborah. Yeah, I think everybody can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Wallace just asked, can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Nobody said that they haven't. Let me know if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Why, you can't hear me, Wallace? I think they can hear me. Yeah, they can hear me. I can hear me on my other device. Yeah. Okay. Look at Wallace starting trouble already early in the live. Hey, Deborah. Good. Thank you so much. Deborah can hear me. Yeah, I'm like, somebody would have been saying something by now just watching me up here. I'm sure y'all would have said something, so he can't hear me. Hey, Shirley, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. Good to see your face in the place, girl. And so today has been a day, right? So on top of work, I've been talking all day. Y'all know National Women's Month has had your girl going. Definitely blessed. Speaking engagement after speaking engagement, event after event. I have a 4-hour session tomorrow, and then I'm doing another event at Black Coffee on Friday. So a lot going on. So on top of all that, today, I did the podcast this morning, but what about the stuff that's just happening in the country? I have had the TV on CNN, and the bridge collapse, which was horrible, in Baltimore, an area that I'm very familiar with. I'm sure I've gone across that bridge. It's just been so many years, I can't remember, but frequented that area. How crazy is that? Just those freak accidents, and to watch the way that bridge collapsed as if it was just made out of popsicle sticks. And to let y'all know, that is something, y'all know I have anxiety. That's something that I actively worry about with bridges and things. And for that to happen, just devastating. And so 6 people still missing. I think they just called off the last press conference where it's no longer considered search and rescue. They're pulling some of the divers out just for their own safety, and they've been going at it for so long. But with the temperatures and the conditions, unfortunately, they do not feel that anyone could survive. Hey, author, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, it's just craziness. And so there's families there who have been there all day. there are two of the missing people, I think, are family members. They work together. And then I just saw them interviewing a young lady who worked in a facility close to the bridge. And she didn't know what had happened, but she said at a certain point, she remembers feeling the ground shake. And they didn't know whether it was like a large crack of thunder, whether it was an earthquake. They had no idea. And so they didn't realize until like 30 minutes later what had actually happened. They went outside on a break and saw that the bridge was gone. Shirley said, let me see. Oh, I thought about you as soon as I heard about the tragedy this morning. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. And, I've just been talking a lot about, my kids getting ready to move to Maryland, and Nikki, who's on here all the time, is in Maryland. And I know a lot of people in Maryland. But the great thing about what happened, even though we had some loss, oh, your auntie's there. Oh, wow. I know it's crazy. It has to be. It has to be crazy. That's just like, traumatic, like a whole entire structure is gone. And of course, the loss of life is devastating, but then all the other things, right? When you get the snowball domino effect of the things, with that being like a major port. And so just so much going on. However, the Mayday that went out and the fact that it happened early morning in the middle of the night, I'm positive saved so many lives. That was some, quick thinking on the part of whoever that was that called in and said, shut down the bridge. And then they show the video of the cars in the last 40 seconds and even an 18-wheeler that made it across just in time. However, unfortunately, those workers were not able to make it off. It's only 3 ways into Maryland, what they're going to do about. I know, right? I know. That's what Wallace and I were talking about that earlier. Like, what is going to be the alternative method? Because see, I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is known as the city of bridges. We have several bridges going across our waterways, which would make something like this a little easier to navigate. But yeah, that is just devastating. But I am grateful that the Mayday went out and that there wasn't more loss of life. And yeah, it's just still horrific for those family members who are there. And yeah, just waiting to hear anything because they haven't even recovered any other bodies. And so from what I have understood, there are 6 people still missing and unaccounted for. And then there's 1 still in the hospital in either serious or critical condition, someone who went to the hospital and was released, but they say mentally it's just, yeah, that's traumatic. I couldn't even imagine. And then there was 1 person at the scene who did not go to the hospital. They didn't feel like their injuries needed to be treated at the hospital. So there were 3 people who survived. And then it sounds like everyone on that vessel is okay. And it looks like the vessel just lost power, which caused it to lose steering. And yeah, just horrible. And so then that happens. And then the next thing you know, they raiding Diddy's house. And I'm like, what in the world? And they are raiding Diddy's house like some kind of war zone. They got the tanks and the military. I'm like, what did Diddy do? And Diddy was on his way out of town, from what I understand, thought he was going on spring break. And they stopped that man on the tarmac, on the runway, like, no, sir, you're going to have to come on back. And he claims him and his team claim to have no idea what's going on, had no heads up. His attorney has spoken out and just said that whatever he is being accused of, it is false. And he is going to fight it every step of the way, which, what do you expect him to say? But it's just funny, not funny, haha, but funny, peculiar how all of these people who were top in entertainment, like we had the whole thing with the Me Too movement roll through several years ago when that first started, and it like wiped out a whole group of people. A lot of them who I really looked up to, like Bill Cosby, Matt Lauer, like no one has heard a peep out of Matt Lauer since then. And I was so shocked about him. But all these people. And so then things kind of leveled off, I guess, after R. Kelly, right? In my mind, like that was the last big one. And it's like, okay, we can breathe again. And so now we're back on it again where, they're talking about Diddy. And then, TD Jake's name was thrown in the whole thing. And all these other stars are now coming out and saying, yeah, I've been to Diddy's parties too. And I heard Wallace was telling me Uncle Luke, of all people, with his lewd and lascivious behind, but he had the nerve to be speaking out against Diddy, talking about, yeah, that's why I always left Diddy's parties early, because it go down at Diddy's house. And I'm like, what in the world could have been going down at Diddy's house that would have made Uncle Luke shy? So I have no idea. But my thing is, I was always, I'm an East Coast girl, East Coast rap, East Coast hip hop. Was always a fan of Diddy. I was running around here all the time talking about Diddy Run the City. Not a big Diddy fan as far as his music. Diddy just all right, but his business acumen and what he has been able to achieve and how he's helped other artists. I am sick and tired of having to cut off these people who were something to me in the entertainment industry. Like, can y'all get it together? Because this is my thing. I'm not loyal to a fault. When it comes to stuff like this, I want the truth to be found out. I want people to pay for what they've done. Anytime we're talking about sex trafficking, doing inappropriate things when it comes to minors and stuff like that, no, I'm all for, hey, wellness. I'm not talking at all about my topic yet, wellness. I'm talking about the crazy day that we have had in the news. I had to get that off my chest first. So we talk about Diddy. But hello, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I mean, you say it's just the beginning, author, and who knows? And that's what I mean. It's maybe just the beginning for Diddy, but this stuff has been never ending. When it comes to the people's names and the investigations and the allegations, it's just like, oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Well, I love to see the word survivor at the end, but I do feel bad because I know that had to cause some serious trauma, but glad to know that you are a survivor. And wait till they raid the churches. I mean, it happens everywhere. I mean, we've had a couple of pastors fall from grace, so to speak, with different things and what happened in the Catholic churches. So it's just, we are just living in a day and time where anything and everything is possible. And you just have no idea what entity is going to be next, what person is going to be next. And that's why we have to be vigilant. We have to keep our heads on a swivel with our kids and even ourselves, because this stuff happens to grown adults. We got to stay prayed up. We have to keep our spiritual minds right. We have to keep our regular mental health right, because this world is bizarre, to say the least. So yeah, all of that today. I'm like, and I got to get on here this evening and talk about self-love and self-care, but I got to get this stuff out. Yeah, God is good. He is. Yes. And I am so grateful that you had the outcome that you have. Again, none of us ever even want to be a survivor, because in order to be a survivor, that means you've gone through something traumatic. However, if you do, to be able to come out of it and tell the story is a blessing as well. Yeah, it's crazy out in these streets. It is. And you can't really feel safe and secure anywhere or with anyone. Like, there was a day and time when we were taught, trust your teachers, trust your parents, trust, adults. Like, no, my grandkids, whatever, don't trust nobody at all. You can't. And it's scary, because you have the teacher sleeping with the kids. You have police harassing people, killing people. Like, it's just so much. Who do you trust, right? Who can you trust? It's difficult. God. We can trust God, because I say too, we can't even trust ourselves, because we be out here getting caught acting a fool every once in a while. So all we can do is trust God. So yeah, y'all, it has been a day. It has been a busy day, a productive day, a sad day, a shocking day. Like, today has been a day. And then I saw somebody post on social media something like, this happening with Diddy today and the bridge collapsing. What are they trying to distract us from? Because, that's a lot of the conspiracy theorists think that when there's a big news day with things that are, big and tragic, but they're not really affecting the entire nation, that means that there's something behind the scenes going on. And, you know what? I don't know if there's anything to that or not, but I can't take no more today. And whatever could be bigger than this stuff, I don't want no parts of it. And I'm not a news person anymore like I used to be. I used to literally watch the news all the time to the point where it was just getting on my nerves. Hey, Bevy, I cannot wait to see you, Bev. I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks. Hey, Bevy, I'm like grinning from ear to ear. I saw your name pop up. Love you so much. But I don't watch it that much anymore because it'll stress you out. But this story just caught me actually on my YouTube feed because I follow quite a few cruise vloggers, and one of the cruise vloggers had a breaking news story. And so of course I saw that, and it was about this horrific accident with the bridge. And so I turned it on CNN, and all in between everything I've been doing today, I have been watching that. Another thing that happened today, look, I feel like I'm like the morning show or the regular news where you give all the news stories are on the radio before you get to the real topic. But another thing, and I just did a TikTok about this. Why are people out in these streets so entitled? And it's kind of a good segue because with everything that's going on in the world, you would think that these things would maybe humble people, maybe make people realize what's really important in life, the things that you should really be grateful for. You definitely would think that everything that going on in the world would start to maybe cut down on some of the sense of entitlement, some of the arrogance that we see. But no, I had to go to the bank today, which is rare because I rarely ever go into a bank, but I had to take in some paperwork for our business, and they needed to scan it into the system. I couldn't email it to them. I had to take it in person, show my ID, whatever. So I go to the bank. Well, first of all, the bank is short-staffed, just like everybody else. And so they only actually have one banker in there, the bank manager, and a couple of tellers. So two things kind of happened to me at the bank today that I was thoroughly irritated by. So I get in the bank. There's an older couple sitting there who they've already been kind of working with, but I guess they're just waiting for something. And so there's a banker, and he has a gentleman in his office. And so as soon as my butt hits the seat, he scurries over to me and he's like, do you have an appointment? And I'm like, no, I don't have an appointment. And I never even really think about making appointments to go to the bank, even though my husband was in banking for 17 years. And I remember him, mentioning his bankers having appointments. I still never have called the bank to make an appointment. So he's like, do you have an appointment? And I said, no, I don't have an appointment. He was like, well, I'm booked for today. Now, mind you, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, sir. The bank doesn't close till 5 o'clock. You booked for today. I'm here now. There's nobody else waiting for you. So you really just want me to say, oh, I'm going home. So I was like, okay, well, I need to, I got an email from you all requesting this paperwork, and today is the only day that I can bring it. And he's like, okay, well, I'm booked for the day. Can you just drop it off? No, sir, I'm not dropping it off. This is my paperwork. I want to make sure that I know where it goes. I don't want to just get sitting down somewhere. And I also want to make sure that this is the paperwork that you need, because I don't want another email, another phone call, because I don't want to come in here again. And he said, well, it's just me, and I'm booked for the day, but the manager is helping somebody now. So maybe when he gets done with them, he'll be able to help you. What do you mean, maybe? Like, I understand that he's the manager, but if there are people here and he can help, what's he going to say? No, I don't feel like helping nobody else today. Like, that makes no sense. So I'm like, okay, fine. Whoever, I don't care who helps me. Somebody's just going to help me. Now, I'm not rushing like you got to help me now. If you have somebody, that's fine. But we all know too that appointments don't mean anything. Just because people made appointments does not mean necessarily that they're going to show up or show up on time. But again, he just seemed like somebody who didn't want to work. He just wanted me to come home, because it's not go home. It's not like there's this packed lobby. So anyway, eventually the manager gets finished doing whatever he's doing, and he quickly came right over to me. Ma'am, are you being helped? Can I help you with something? He took care of my business. But in the meantime, while I was waiting, why did this guy come into the bank and he goes to the teller and says, because you all did not get my checks that I ordered to me quick enough because they were lost, I ended up not being able to pay one of my company's bills, and I was charged a $3 late fee, and my payment was late, but since it wasn't my fault, they're not going, because it was late, they're charging me the late fee, but because it wasn't my fault, hey, CC, because it wasn't my fault, I don't feel like I should have to pay that late fee. I need y'all to give me back my $3. Now, right off the bat, I really don't have an issue with the man. Look, I don't care if it's 50 cents. If you don't feel like you should have had to pay it, you feel like it was somebody else's fault, it's fine. You come in, try to get your $3. But the problem I had was that before the teller could even respond to him, he gets into the fact, I have a lot of money in this bank. I am a businessman. I have several accounts here, and I have a lot of money in this bank, and I deal with other banks around here too, and I am a good customer. I've been with y'all since 2008. You need to give me my $3 back. So now he takes a breath and gives the teller a chance to respond. But what she responds with is, sir, I'm not sure if I'll be able to give you the $3. I'm going to have to ask my manager because it's not our fee. And he's like, well, I understand it's not your fee, but it's your fault that I owe the $3 because you didn't get me the checks on time. They were shipped, but they got lost. And I only pay these bills by check because I'm a businessman. If I could count how many times he said he was a businessman. So the teller's like, okay, well, let me get my manager. So the manager comes over and he says, she explained to me the issue, so let me look at your account and see what I can do for you. Now, he didn't say I'm not going to be able to help. He didn't say I was going to be able to help. He just said, let me look at the account and see what I can do for you. Now, that manager could have very well known at that moment what he was going to be able to do based on what the man said. However, any of you who have worked with the public and customer service management, whatever, you know, oftentimes what people say, hey, Janet, how are you? Oftentimes what people say is not necessarily what the facts are going to show. So he wanted to look at it, but the man ran off again. I have all this money in the bank, $3 isn't going to make or break me, but it's the principle. I also understand that. The principle. You come in, like they say, I stand on business. You want to stand on principle? Go ahead and stand on principle. That's fine. But why do you have to continue to say how much money you have in the bank? And the thing that got me was, I'm like, do you really have as much money in the bank as you trying to say you have? Because what he said to the teller, and I picked up on, because I be ear hustling. He said, all of my accounts aren't under the same profile, so you're not going to be able to see it all now. But I guarantee you, I have lots of money in this bank. Now, the fact that he felt a need to give that disclaimer, I feel like, yeah, you knew she looking at your account with $9.28 in it and wondering where all this money is. So you going to try to make it seem like, no, I got all these different accounts or whatever. I'm like, dude, it's not even that serious about $3. So even exactly, red flag for sure. That's what I said in my TikTok, Deborah. I was like, now that was a red flag. Like, dude, please. So, yeah, I be ear hustling. I love the people watch, and yeah, don't be talking too loud around me, because I be like, lean back. Yes, I love. So that's where I get my content from, right? Especially my shorts and my TikToks. So the manager looks at it and says, yes, I'll be able to go ahead and credit your account to $3. Sorry that this happened or whatever. And he was like, yeah, because, how long is it going to take you to finish this? Am I done here? Are you still going to need me? Because like I said, I'm a businessman and time is money. So I don't have all day to stand here. And the manager's like, sir, it's done. Like he was really saying, like, say less. You could have been gone. But he went through all that. And so then he goes to the door, walks out, and then pokes his head back in and says, excuse me, sir, what was your name? And so the manager gives his name. And he says, okay, well, I just wanted to get your name because when I do a lot of business in this city. I work with a lot of banks, and I want to make sure that I'm able to let people know who helped me here and let them know what you did for me today. Dude, it was $3. And it probably could have been done a lot quicker if you just would have shut your mouth. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like sharing that, even though I did the whole TikTok about it. It's just that people be peopling. I'm like, dude, can't you just come in and say, this is what happened. Can you help me? And let the people work it out. But he had to keep saying it. He wanted everybody in that bank to know that he got a lot of money and he do a lot of money in business in the city and a lot of money. I'm like, dude, if you don't go on and carry your behind. But anyway, y'all, hey, and welcome to Living Life with Stae. Watching people is so fun, and I will make out a whole, that 32 cents. Exactly, Cece, that's what I was thinking, because when he said you might not be able to see it because it ain't all under the same profile. Really, because we have several accounts in the bank too. And whenever I pull it up on my app or whatever, it's individually. It says iSalt. It says Empower EQ. Like I see my accounts. And the number of accounts you got don't mean that much money you got either. So yeah, he was horrible. He was horrible. Yeah, he was definitely a jerk. Hey, Elvin, I didn't see you sneaking here. I'm so glad Cece said hello, or I would have missed you. Hey, thank you so much for being here. All right, y'all. So I have run my mouth enough. You would think I'd be tired of talking, but I rarely ever get tired of talking. I told y'all I've been talking since I was 7 months old. So that's what I do. But today I wanted to talk about self-care as a radical act of self-love. And the reason why I chose the word radical is because sometimes that is exactly how we make it seem, or that's how other people take it, because radical just means, doing something with intention, doing something, maybe a little bit against the grain, doing something that other people might see, is crazy, but having that mission and being intentional about it. I remember Fred Hammond's album, Radical for Christ. And so being sold out to it. And we do have to be intentional about that, because as we're on the self-love journey, or even for those of us who really don't need to be on a journey, right? Because we have our self-love, we believe in ourselves, we accept ourselves, taking that time out for self-care can look completely different, because self-care are the things that we do. Oh, let me see, Wallace. I'm sorry, I can't ignore my husband, y'all. If you can lose it all on the weekend, that's not a lot of money. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and thank y'all all for saying hi to my Pooh Bear. But self-care is very important in order to keep up your self-love. And sometimes we confuse the self-care piece as, what's the words I'm looking for? As treating ourselves. I talk about this all the time. Just because you bought yourself a new bag and splurged a little bit and spent a little more than you normally would, that's not necessarily self-love. Like, I look at it as totally different things. There's times when we indulge and we treat ourselves, and those are things that kind of happen randomly and every once in a while, where self-love is, where self-care for self-love is something that needs to happen on a daily basis. And what makes it radical is the fact that a lot of us can go most of our lives without even realizing that we have not been giving ourselves the self-care that we deserve. And most of the time we don't give ourselves the self-care that we deserve is because we're too busy caring for other people, and our self-care sometimes gets in the way of what it is that they're wanting from us, meaning that sometimes the self-care that we need is just saying no to other people's needs. And I know we were talking yesterday and somebody brought up the factor, I think it may have even been this morning when we were on Miss T's. Hey, Tim, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it was this morning on Miss T's, because we were talking about business, but someone made the comment saying that in order for us, I guess, to truly be good people and lovers of people, that we need to be able to put other people's needs in front of our own, and that is showing true love. And because that's what Jesus did, that's what we need to do. And I am nobody to disagree with Jesus, with the Bible. However, I think sometimes we take those things out of context. And the bottom line is, as well, we're not Jesus. And so emulating and wanting to love like him and the whole what would Jesus do is great. However, we don't have that power to still be able to maintain our good mental health, our good physical health, without taking that time for self-care and putting our feelings and our care and our needs above others. Because I will tell you this all the time, people will drain you of every ounce of energy, every one of that 32 cents in the bank account, every ounce of your resources, and not pour into you at all. And sometimes the only person that we have to truly love on us and nurture us and keep our cups overflowing is us. And if you find yourself in that position, the only thing you can do is take a radical approach and a radical act to self-care, because you will completely be depleted with nothing else to give, including to give to yourself, if you don't. Did you see me this morning, Stae, coming your channel and Miss T Live to say hello? I did, but it was after the fact, Tim. I saw it after the fact. If I remember correctly, I saw it after, when I was kind of looking back, but I definitely appreciate you. And so I have to, today was my first day ever being on someone else's live and sharing it out. I never shared it out because I, just am not tech savvy, even though it was super easy. I just immediately thought, oh no, that's something I can't do. So I didn't have it to see it at the time, but I appreciate you tons. And I also appreciate you for reminding everybody to hit those thumbs up. Please do that when you come in, because it means so much to the algorithm to help them push this Life for Tribe out to other people who definitely need to be a part of this tribe. Let's see. Great live on there today. I was working in the bushes. Okay, yeah, because I missed you, Cece, but thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun time. It definitely was fun. It's always fun with Miss T with the T. And I was so glad when she reached out to me and wanted to do that this week. This morning was the only morning I had. And so I was so glad that worked for her. And thank you, Tim, for sharing out the links. I appreciate you for that as well. But yeah, self-care has to be something that you're intentional about. And so let's talk about what self-care looks like. Now, it's going to be different for different people, but you have to be intentional about it and make sure that it is truly self-care. Now, I'm not saying that a day at the spa can't be self-care. However, sometimes you need something a little deeper than that. Something you need. Hey, tapped in. Thank you for being here. Sometimes you need something a little deeper than that. Sometimes you need something that's more intentional and something that's not, hey, growing what I eat, how are you? You need something that's not so surface. You need something that is going to truly feed you mind and spirit. So self-care for me is peace. Okay. And so protecting my peace and making sure that I am only surrounding myself with people who also have an interest in protecting my peace, that's self-care for me. When I feel my peace is being disrupted, that's when I know I have to be radical about getting my self-care, because once my peace is disrupted, then everything else is going to decline. Self-care does not have to be a bubble bath. Exactly. And it can be, but it doesn't have to be. And that's the thing. The things that we do just that feel like, I think sometimes we sell ourselves too short, or we deprive ourselves too much when we look at things that should be regular as self-care, right? Like, oh, I'm going to do some self-care. I'm just going to sit down and sip some tea, when it's like, well, you should be able to sip tea all the time. Yes, self-care is boundaries. We talked about boundaries the other day, Cece. I don't remember if you were in here, but boundaries are so important, because creating those boundaries is what protects your peace oftentimes. And for me, that is the most important thing, making sure that I am living in this world and being able to be contributed to be able to contribute to this world, but also being contributed to. And if I am the only one who is interested in contributing to me, I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to suffer waiting for someone else to contribute to me. That is self-care to me. Self-care is doing the work to be able to navigate through past traumas and still be able to have a healthy life and move on past traumas and not carry the weight of that and the luggage of that into our present life. That is self-care, when you are getting in the nitty-gritty, having those conversations and doing the work to be able to work through those things so that you can live at your highest possible self. That is self-care. Self-care is making sure that you go to the doctor and you're staying on top of your appointments and you're doing the things to make sure that you're as healthy as possible, that you are eating healthy, that you're putting clean things in your body. Because again, sometimes we'll look at self-care as, oh, I'm going to go and treat myself to this great dinner that's completely unhealthy and eat that dessert and have those cocktails, and that's self-care. That's not self-care. That's the opposite of self-care. That can actually be self-sabotage. But if you do it in moderation and as a treat, that's completely fine. But you cannot consider anything that can potentially be a danger or a harm to you as self-care. But again, sometimes I feel like we neglect ourselves so much that we have allowed things that are actually harmful for us or things that aren't even that big of a deal. We've allowed those things to become self-care. Let me get in the comments because I've been seeing it moving, and I don't want to miss anything or saying hi. I believe I said hello to Taps in. Saying hello. I'm doing well this rainy evening. Oh, it's raining. It's a little bit chilly here. Wallace and I actually turned on the heat for a second. I think we spoiled living here in Texas. Okay, so everyone is just saying hello. And y'all know, as I have to remind myself all the time, you are more than welcome to come up here with me. There is plenty of room up on the stage. I did remember to pin the link to the live at the top. So if anyone wants to come on and share a part of their self-care or what self-care means to them, or whatever y'all want to add, what you know for sure is you can come up here and tell the people. Telling toxic people goodbye is amazing self-care. Yes, releasing yourself from the burden of feeling like you have to answer every phone call or you have to say yes to every favor that's asked upon of you. Those things are self-care. Self-care are the things that allow you to be a healthier, happier, joyful, more stable person. And that's what I want to talk about too, as far as self-care. Sometimes we have the misconception that self-care comes from happiness. And Kirk Franklin was the first person that I heard say it. I don't know if it is authentic or original to him, but he says happiness is dependent upon what's happening. And so that means happiness can come and go, just like the weather is hot or cold, which is fine. You're not going to be happy every day. But what self-care is about is making sure you have that joy. Joy is what comes from inside when you truly have that self-love, when you're confident in who you are. And when you practice self-care and you tap into that and you do the work, then you have that joy, which is the self-care, which is what helps you to move through the days and the times and the periods in your life when you don't have happiness because nothing is happening. And so we all have those days where we're happier than other days. We're more excited than other days. Things happen, you know, like Growing What I Eat was just talking about a rainy day. Like a lot of times on a rainy, gloomy day, you're not necessarily feeling happy, but that doesn't mean that you don't have that joy. That doesn't mean that you don't have that inner peace. That joy is what protects us from going into depression. That joy is what keeps us from having mental breakdowns, having that joy, having that peace, that contentment, and doing things that promote the self-care is what's going to keep us in that joyful place. Happiness is having that dessert, having that dinner that you don't need to be having, going and buying that purse, because those things, they're only going to make you happy for a moment. But when you do true self-care, which means maybe going to church for some people, tapping into the word, getting that therapy, surrounding yourself by like-minded people, taking that time to make sure that your peace is protected, working through past traumas, getting rid of toxic relationships, working on building healthy relationships, doing things to keep yourself educated, to keep yourself motivated, following your dreams, building that business. Those are the things, the lasting things that create the joy. So that means even on days when you're not happy, you still have joy and you still have your peace. Does that make sense, y'all? I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Y'all don't talk back to me a whole lot, so I'm hoping that makes sense. But just to be able to differentiate those two things, the difference between self-care and treating yourself, and the difference between happiness and joy. Once you kind of get your mindset and you're clear about those definitions, then it's going to help you on this journey to true self-love and self-care. Let me see. I try my best to stay happy. Yeah, I love being happy. I do too, Elvin. I love to be happy. I love to laugh. Wallace and I are each other's entertainment. We laugh at each other all the time. One thing that Wallace says a lot, hey, Melanie, thank you so much for joining. And Juana Rios, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate y'all for being here. But one thing that Wallace says a lot, and I absolutely love, is the fact that you have to learn not to take yourself so seriously. Like, you have to learn to laugh at yourself, and we don't take each other that seriously. Like, we're always clowning and joking each other, and it's fun. And so being happy. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know I'm making sense, because I don't be knowing. Y'all like, what is that girl talking about? I'll tell you if you ever don't make sense. Well, thank you, Janet. I love that. Ain't nothing like somebody who's not afraid to shoot straight from the hip. It's weird. Half society is obsessed with happiness at the expense of their peace. Yeah, because so many things that make us happy are temporary. So I love what Elvin said. He loves to be happy. He loves to laugh. And I do too. Like I said, we are clowning and joking around here all the time. However, when you're happy, just think about it. You're happy, you're laughing, you're joking, you're having a good time, you're eating your ice cream, you're doing all the things. But as soon as you get some bad news, as soon as something happens, something's devastating, that happiness can go away just like that. And that's natural, because again, happiness is temporary. It's, we can't be happy every single day because life happens. And you see how all those words, you know what I mean? Life happens. Happiness comes from what's happening. But when you have that deep-seated joy, well, I appreciate you for just taking the time out to chat with us in between what you're doing. And I'm not cooking on the live today. Y'all know I burnt the bacon on the live yesterday, but I'm making salmon today in the air fryer, and it doesn't take quite as long to cook, and I didn't want it to dry out. So yeah, so we safe today. But when you have that joy, that is what helps you to get through those bad moments. So even when the happiness goes away, you're not completely devastated. You just kind of roll with the punches. You deal with things. You might be sad. You may even shed a tear, but it's not going to take you down this destructive path or into this whole spiral. And that's what seems to happen. Thank you, Tim. That's what seems to happen. That's about, yeah, because I told you to block yourself yesterday, right? Because you and can't stop. Was that yesterday or the day before? Y'all was agreeing with Wallace too much. But that's the thing, that when people depend on things to make them happy or other people to make them happy. I talk about people who are single who I coach, and they're saying, I just want somebody in my life just to make me happy. I just want somebody who can make me happy. Well, to me, that's impossible. You can have happiness with someone. Someone can make you happy. But when you're talking about make you happy, then that lets me know right there that you are, it was Sunday night. Okay. That you are lacking that inner joy, because when people just focus on happiness, my thing is, where is your joy? Because if you're always, no, I'm not going to burn it. I'm tapped in because I'm not cooking it until we get off. because it doesn't take that long to cook. But when you are just focused on happiness, to me, it's like, what are you trying to mask? What are you afraid of? What are the feelings that you are afraid that you can't feel? Because again, loving to be happy, loving to laugh, all of that is fine as long as you have pure joy. And that's where that self-care comes in, and not letting your happiness be dependent, or the only time you can be happy. Like, I'm happy when I can enjoy my own company. As much as I love Wallace and I love being around him, we were watching this week Oprah, and she did a interview with, what's the guy's name? She was on one of the nighttime shows. Wallace will probably end up putting it in the chat, but she was on one of the night talk shows, and she was talking about how as much as she's an extrovert, which it was so, oh my gosh, it was like she was definitely speaking my language. As much as she's an extrovert, as much as she's around people and enjoys being around people, she was talking about her 70th birthday. She just turned 70, and he was asking her if she had thrown a huge party that nobody knew about. And she was like, no, I did. She said, actually, I was home in my pajamas. And she said, and this happens to me a lot on my birthday, I'm telling you. I'll always say, I'm doing something big. I'm doing something big. Jimmy Kimmel. Thank you, babe. She was on the Jimmy Kimmel show a couple of days ago, but Wallace had me watch it yesterday. But she was like, I was going to throw a big party mainly because other people were expecting me to. I was going to do it to make other people happy. And I have done the same kind of thing. I know I like to host. This is a secret about me, y'all. I love planning parties and planning events, and all of that is exciting for me. Like looking at the things, looking at the colors, planning the menu. But I always, like the week or so before, after all the planning's done, I'm like, I don't even feel like doing this, because I do so much. I'm around people so much. Not that I don't enjoy and love my friends. It's just that after all the planning, after all the work and whatever, I'm tapped out by then. And so I'm right with Oprah, where, I was going to have a 50th birthday for myself. I ended up throwing a huge 50th birthday for Wallace. Our birthdays are only 3 months apart. So for those of you who don't know, Wallace's birthday is 9/12/71. I'm 12/9/71. So our birthdays are just flip-flop. So that's only 3 months apart. So I threw this huge birthday party for Wallace, and I was going to do the same thing for myself. Well, I was worn out from Wallace's birthday. And that's where the self-love and self-care kind of come in, because even though the birthday party made me happy, I needed to decompress. Like, I don't need a party and a lot of people around me in order for me to be happy. And so sometimes I need the exact opposite. And so we just decided for my 50th birthday, I canceled my party and we just went on a cruise, just the two of us. And it was absolutely wonderful. Well, the next year, people were like, well, you didn't do a 50th birthday party. You need to do one for your 51st birthday. So then I came up with the whole theme of 50 wonderful. And so I'm going to do this party. Had already gotten the venue. Hey, Tampa. Had already gotten the venue and then ended up canceling it. And so let me get back to Oprah. That's what Oprah was saying, that a lot of times she's kind of peopled out. She likes to decompress, and she realized that she had thrown a lot of parties and events in the past to make other people happy. And there were some other things she wanted to do for her birthday, and nobody wanted to do it. Like, she wanted to go hiking. She wanted to go camping. And she was like, and I couldn't find anybody to go hiking or camping with me for my birthday. So I just decided I wasn't going to do anything. And she said, so I was just curled up in my pajamas with my blanket and some books with my dog. And it was amazing. And that's how I am. And those are the kind of things that are self-care, when you realize I'm only doing this. Okay, the Virgo's in the house. I'm only doing this for other people. I'm only doing this to make other people happy. I'm only doing this because this is what people expect me to do. But if it's not truly something that's going to bring you joy and you're only doing it to pacify other people, there is nothing wrong with choosing you. And I had people say to me, well, it's your birthday. How are you not going to do something for your birthday? But let me tell y'all another secret. I'm tired of planning my own birthday. Now, my husband is always wanting to do something for me. And so I have to say, in his defense, I say no. And he did throw me a wonderful surprise birthday party a few years ago. And it was really, really good. But what I'm talking about is all the people who expect me to have birthday parties. Like back in the day, I didn't have to worry about my birthday. My girls were going to have it done. Like, this is what we doing. Boom, boom, boom. Because it's my birthday. And so maybe I got spoiled. But after a couple of years of throwing my own birthday party, once I moved away and, to a different state and all that, and I was just trying to keep it up, I'm like, why am I planning my own birthday party? And so I decided, no, I'm not doing that anymore. If you want to celebrate me on my birthday, then you plan something for me. You call me and tell me what we're doing or where we're going or where I can meet you or what time you're coming to pick me up. I am no longer celebrating other people on my birthday. Why do I have to be the one to be coming up with the menu, paying the caterer, doing all the things? Like, it's my birthday. And so I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. Let's see. Tampa said, hey, everyone, I'm home now, and my grandmother's 92nd birthday was a blast. Tampa, how about Wallace's aunt turned 92 the same day you were at your grandmother's birthday? We were at her birthday. I'm like, what a coincidence. Two of us with 92-year-olds in the family. Let me see. Okay, so Tampa, are you home yet? I'm going back up here because it looked like everybody was just saying hi, but maybe I did miss something. Wallace is a Virgo, so I did see that. Oh, that's so funny. And then I know Tim was saying something about the air fryer too. So let me just check. I done ran my mouth. I was getting really good at this. Hey, Amanda, how are you? Yes, we're husband-wife birthday buddies. My 50th will be white attire, 90s R&B. I better get an invitation, CC. You can't just tell me what you're going to do and you ain't inviting me. Okay, so Tampa, I think I'm all caught up, but I'm so glad that you had safe travels and made it back home. But yeah, we have to stop doing, and again, anybody who was just in there, who are just coming in, the link is up there if you want to join me. 92 with 5 generations, and I'm the third, and Mackenzie is the fifth. Wow, that is awesome. Thank you, Cece. I put you on the spot. I don't care. Thank you. I can't wait. But yeah, I just got tired of it. And that was a part of self-care for me. And so when Oprah said that, I could so much relate because I am definitely what they call an introverted extrovert. I am a people person. I love the people. I can be mixing and mingling, socializing, doing all the things, but I also need decompression time. And I also need, it's just that's enough is enough. Like whenever I'm out all day talking and doing different things, I come home, Wallace will tell you, I will be exhausted. And it's not because, I've run, 5 miles or done a whole lot. All I've been doing is running my mouth all day. But that in and of itself wears me out. It's just a mental decompression. And so I have to be able to decompress in order to have that self-care and be able to recharge myself. And it's the same way even with social things. I used to feel like I had to accept every single invitation, or I needed a good reason why I couldn't come to something. Or I felt like, oh, well, because this person came when I invited them, I have to go when they invite me. And that's not true. And I realized as I got older that people who really care about you and love you and want to be in your presence, they'll understand when you can't make it every time. And they're not going to be keeping a tally of, oh, well, you invited me to 2 things and I came to 2 things, but you didn't come. They understand life happens. So the thing I had was on May 2nd. You ain't have nothing going on May 2nd. Well, you had something planned on May 28th and I already had something going on. And so being able to just be in control of your own time, that is something that is very important to your self-care as well. Unfortunately, time for bed, 3 a.m. comes quickly. I know, I understand, Tim. I definitely appreciate you. You have a good night and some good rest. I'll be 48 in May, and I don't have friends like that to even do a 50th birthday thing. Well, here's the thing on that. If it's something, and Tampa, I'm always going to come with something when you say that. I'm always going to give you some encouragement and my little nuggets, so I hope you don't mind. But it's about quality over quantity, first of all. And whatever is going to make you happy for your 50th birthday, you do that. If you want to celebrate your 50th birthday with other people, then that's fine. If your party has only 3 people in it, that's your party, because again, it's quality over quantity. If you have 1 or 2 people who love you and want to celebrate with you, don't worry about it if it's not a whole lot of people. And on the flip side of that too, if it's just you make sure you celebrate you, because it's your birthday. And so you need to be celebrating it however you want to celebrate it, regardless of anybody else. So do not let that keep you from having a birthday party. If it's a birthday party, there is no number on birthday party. Wallace and I done partied in here many a times, just the 2 of us. Oh, you'll be 48 too? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. I never went to a high school prom, and I've always wanted to do a prom thing for my birthday. Maybe my new community family will come. Yeah, do that. That sounds cute. And so I know somebody who did an adult prom last year, and I was supposed to go and something came up and I wasn't able to go. But it wasn't a birthday party or anything. It was just an organization that did an adult prom, and it was really, really cute. I saw pictures and I had friends that went. But yeah, that's cute. I'm going to be traveling to Mobile in April to go to the prom with my nephew. And so, my sister was on earlier today with Miss T. Her son is 16 years old, or 17. He'll be 17 in a couple of days, and he's going to his prom, but he is autistic and nonverbal. So we are all going. He's going to the prom with an entourage. And so I can't wait. Y'all know I'm going to be vlogging. She was supposed to not be showing me what he was wearing so it could be a surprise. And she kept saying, I know I'm not going to be able to keep it. I know I'm not going to be able to keep it. And then she got frustrated about something today with his outfit and some, help she was wanting from somebody else. And so she ended up sending it to me. So he is going to be sharp as a tack. I cannot wait. So I'm going to be vlogging that. And I love the fact that, he goes to a special needs school, but they still do all of those things so he can have those experiences. And for those of you who weren't on the live too, and I'm going to have to just bring my sister up here one day if she'll do it and talk about her book. So she is a new author. She just wrote a book called Why Is Everything So Loud? And you can find it on Amazon. And actually, it's free right now as an ebook. So let me put that in here. If y'all go, Is Everything, can y'all please do me a favor? It's an ebook. Why is everything so loud? So there it is in the chat. That's the name of her book. And her name is Margot H. Towner. If you can go into Amazon, if you have Amazon, and get the ebook, like I said, it's free right now, so it won't cost you a dime. But if you go and get it, if you could please leave a review of the book. It's a very short children's book, and the main character is Jackson. Hey, cousin Rhonda, and hey, Nick, how are? Oh, it's Sunshine. I need to get with you in your inbox about something. So thank you so much for tuning in, Sunshine. I appreciate you. You see, I said Nick as soon as I saw the group name. And thank you so much for tuning in, cousin Rhonda. And hey, Erica. Hey, thank you for being here. I got to remember to look at all these different screens because, again, I can't see y'all name on here. But Sunshine said it's Sunshine, and I still call her the wrong person going by the name of the group. But anyway, it's a short little children's book, so it doesn't take long to read. But if you could just go and get the ebook and then put a review of the book, that will really help her. She's a first-time author. This is her first project. I'm so proud of her. Definitely a labor of love and just something that she's decided to do to kind of help the autistic community. And the book, like I said, is a children's book, but it's good for children with autism as well as maybe siblings with autistic brothers or sisters, or for teachers who want to share with their classrooms, just a way to just teach the differences and what those kiddos go through. And along the lines of the same things that I teach with the empathy and inclusion and all of that. So yeah, if y'all can go on there and get that ebook and then leave a review, I would really appreciate it, because the reviews are what's going to help, push her, because Amazon has like an algorithm as well. So Yeah, let me get back in here. Hey, Stae, Sunshine. Okay, I saw that. And then the name of the book, y'all, is Why Is Everything So Loud? And I may go ahead and put it as a banner. Yeah, isn't that a cool book? I was so proud of her. And she just really wanted a project and something that was her own. And she was just like, you know what? This is my life. I'm the mom of an autistic child. This is my experience, because she has been home with him for so long. She was like, well, I don't know what I want to do because I'm not into a lot of things. I'm like, do something that has to do with what you already are doing. And she was like, well, I'm just taking care of Donovan. Well, that's a thing because Donovan is a handful. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate y'all. So if you could just write a review, like I said, thank you, Cece. Thank y'all for looking. I appreciate you. Yeah. And so, it's free just for a little while because it's kind of like a pre-sale, but it's free because she's trying to, just kind of get people's feedback and things like that. So I definitely appreciate y'all. I'm going to make sure that I let her know that the L.Y.F.E tribe was on it. Let's see. Here is, self-care is something I need to prioritize. Okay, that was my cousin Rhonda, because on here it says Facebook user. So I wanted to make sure. I will pass this along to my friends with kids. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think it is definitely an awesome tool. I'm going to try to tag her. I don't know if I can or not. But I know it's definitely an awesome tool. And so I really want her to have great success with it. But you know what? Success has already happened too. Just the fact that she has done it and stepped out on faith and was willing to share, that in and of itself is success. So I'm so super proud of her. But I would love to see it be able to go as far as possible, because it's definitely something that's much needed and just, helps people to kind of understand, because those children have a whole different way of experiencing the world, and people don't always realize what that looks like. And so being able to have other kids have a resource and be able to share it with them in a way that they're used to through a story, through a storybook, it just makes it kind of, easier to be able to explain to them what's going on. You said it's your niece who wrote her. No, it's my sister who wrote her book, Sunshine. So my sister, Margot Towner, I just tagged her. I don't know if she'll be able to join us, but it's my sister. She wrote the book and she's like writing it in honor of her son, Donovan, who is autistic. And so she is on that journey. And so Jackson is the main character, but she is going to expand on it and put more characters in the book and just try to make it a whole thing. And, I told her, y'all know me, I think big. I'm like, I can see this being a whole cartoon because we don't have that. I know like Sesame Street and that have added autistic characters along the way, but to have that whole thing where, there's t-shirts and all that, I'm just seeing a whole brand. So I definitely want to help motivate her and keep her, going, because, when you're doing, this is her first business venture. And so I've already warned her about the ebbs and flows and like the support's not necessarily going to look how you expect the support to look, but don't give up. Don't give up. You're going to put some post on Facebook sometimes and it's going to be crickets, and there's going to be people who you just assumed are going to write their reviews and buy the book and they're not, and that's okay. But I've been in this entrepreneurial journey a long time, and I have learned one thing for sure, that is to keep your expectations low to none and have a thick skin. But as long as you believe in yourself and what you're doing and you're passionate about it, then you're doing the right thing. And again, just completing projects and putting yourself out there, that is success. Like to see my sister's face and name on Amazon with a book, like that is success. Like, how many people in the world can say that they've done that? It's not something that just everybody does all the time. So it's a big deal in and of itself. But, a lot of times, again, with that whole self-love piece, we can be our biggest critics. We can be the ones who have the most unreal expectations of ourselves. And so that's why I want to kind of help her. Hey, Margot, I was telling everybody about your book. And so I was hoping that you can join in. A few of the people from the L.Y.F.E tribe have already looked it up. on Amazon and got it on their Kindle, and they will be making their reviews. A lot of good feedback and responses from everybody. Excited about what you're doing. Yeah, I'm very proud, Sunshine. I am, and I'm happy for her because it's definitely not an easy accomplishment. And wait till y'all see it, and the illustrations and everything, just so nice, so well put together. So yeah, I just was wondering if you were able to jump on so you could say thank you to all the good people in the L.Y.F.E tribe, because they didn't even wait until the live was over. People were like, okay, Stae, I see it. Oh, I got it. Oh yeah. And so I was just telling them how important it is for you to try to get some of these reviews, and that there is an algorithm on Amazon as well. So Amazon wants to see that people are interested in your product so they can go ahead and push it out there. So I do appreciate each and every one of you for doing that and supporting in that way, because I know it's not easy. You know, the last thing you want to be doing is clicking on something else, writing something else. And that's what I was telling my sister too. Sometimes people don't support you not even intentionally. It's just that as soon as they see that you're asking them to do something, they feel like, yeah, jump over to YouTube. They feel like you're taken from their bandwidth. Like, we all feel stretched. So that's why instead of me worrying about who doesn't support me, I am more interested in those who do and appreciating them, because I know it's not always easy. I know I struggle with giving all the support I want to give all the time. So it's not easy, and I don't take it for granted at all. Oh, thank you so much, Amanda. Oh, wow. So you have a nephew who is autistic. Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate you so much. Y'all are awesome. I do have an affiliate link on Amazon, and so I will be adding her. I am an Amazon influencer. I have an Amazon store. I think you find my Amazon store is like, oh my goodness, don't get me to start lying, but it's like amazon.com/shop/Stae Hall, something like that. So I will be adding her book, because my books are on there. And thank you for saying that, CC. I've been so involved in trying to do so many things. I didn't even think about that piece of it. But yeah, sometimes, you know, support, again, it's not intentional. Oh, thank you so much. I try my best. And she did thank me in her book. I think it's like the introduction or whatever. And I thought that was so sweet when I read that. So yeah, and she's a good sister as well. She a pain in the butt, y'all, but I wouldn't trade her for the world. She is a good sister. Just FYI, Stae, the Special Olympics is April 12th. Well, I'll be going to Pittsburgh April 13th, so I won't be able to make it to Special Olympics. I hate that, because I wanted to come this year, but I will be. I was just telling him about Donovan in the prom, and he's going to be sharp as a tack. But yeah, I wish I could make it to Special Olympics. Is he going to do it this year? I'm assuming he's going to do it this year. But yeah. So, and for any of you, you know, who have special needs children or know people who do, they not okay. So check on them, because them kids is a hot mess. They not okay. It is a full-time job. And we laugh all the time, because my kids are a hot mess too. And so I felt like my sister, you know, Donovan is autistic and he's special needs, and the stuff that she go through. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. I support you. I understand. I'm like, but look, I need a little something. I said, so, because my kids is regular needs, and they drive me crazy too. So that's what I say all the time. Her son is special needs. My kids is regular needs, because they be working me. They needy. I understand as well. My nephew has 2 boys under 7 with autism. Wow. I mean, it's so many people who have people in their family who are autistic. And that's why I was like, dang, this is just an awesome project, because I feel like so many people can learn from it. And that's why I do what I do with the soft skills and emotional intelligence, because certain things that you just think are innately in us, everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have the tolerance, the patience, the empathy. And so, but if we started at young ages like this, with her writing a book for children. So of course, again, autistic children can appreciate it, because it'll make them feel more included in that they're not alone. And now they have their own character, right? And so they have Jackson, and Jackson is just like them. But on the other side, it can help with the kids who are interacting with the children with special needs, for them to see that, oh, because, kids relate to characters and things. So it's like, oh, okay, well, Donovan's just like Jackson. So that's cool. Jackson is in a book. And, so just things like that. And if we start, I tell people in my business, for the free coloring page, I'll leave that up there. So in my business, I break business rule 101. Like anybody who would come to me for coaching and they want to start a business, one of the first things I would tell them is you have to identify who your customer and client is. Everybody cannot be your customer and client. You have to figure out who that is. However, I break my own rule because I truly believe that with soft skills and emotional intelligence, everybody could literally be my client, because hey, Sammy Joe, thank you for being here. Who can't benefit from learning more about how to be empathetic, how to be an effective communicator? I tell people, little kids as early as 3 years old in preschool, 5 years old in kindergarten, they can benefit from soft skills because the act of sharing and being kind is a soft skill. And so a little kid who maybe has been an only child, and their first interaction really with other little kids is once they get into school, a lot of times they've only been around adults, they're spoiled, they've gotten everything that they want. And so they don't know how to accept no, they don't know how to share. And so teaching them soft skills as early as 3-5 years old can definitely make a difference. Margo, do you want to come up? I don't know what you have going on at home, but the link is at the top now that you're on YouTube. If you want to click the link and join the live and talk about the book, or just say hello to everybody and let them see your face. If you're not, don't feel pressure, because I don't know what you got going on. You may be sitting around with your do-rag and your moo-moo on. So I don't want you to feel pressure, but just let me know in the chat if you want to come up or not. And if you do, that link is just up there, or we can just set a special day for you to come up. But definitely wanted you to know that you're welcome to do that, which I think you already knew anyway. But yeah, when we have to start teaching these kids stuff early, and it's never too early to teach soft skills, because, hey, Trish, because people need it. People need it. And if you're not able to come up, let me see. I'll just want to, because I don't know, you didn't answer me, but I'm going to make a banner on here so everybody will know. Why is everything so loud? By Margo H. Towner on Amazon. So yeah, so for those of you who are just tuning in, I was talking about self-love and self-care, and somehow start talking about my sister's book, which is about self-love and self-care in a way. And her book is free right now on Amazon. And it is, yes, definitely enjoy your meal, because I'm going to enjoy mine here in a little bit. I got about 10 more minutes and I'm going to jump off. But hey, geeky girls. But her book is free right now in the Kindle or the, electronic book, ebook. And so I was just asking for any of you who have Amazon, if you could go over to Amazon and check out Why Is Everything So Loud, and leave. The only thing she's asking, because the book is absolutely complimentary right now, she is just asking that you leave a review. And so I would really appreciate if as many of you who could do that would. I really, really appreciate it, because again, I truly believe that it takes a village, and we need to be okay with sharing our platforms, just like what I did yesterday on YouTube by shouting out some of our women creators, because it's Women's History Month. So why not? Hey, Mama Gina, speaking of Women's History Month and phenomenal women, if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, You got to check out Mama Gina's restaurant. Oh my goodness, her food is so good. And what I love about Mama Gina's is she does soul food, but she does soul food in a healthy way. She doesn't fry anything, y'all. And then she has sweet potato pancakes on Saturday that are scrumdiddlyicious. So definitely check out Mama Gina's if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You will not regret it, and tell her Stae sent you. Hey, Lacey J, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything. I said hello to Trish. And thank you, Trish. I did see your comment about, more people and keeping that going. Yeah, do not be afraid to share out other people's channels, shout out other people's channels. Again, I don't do it as much as I would like to. Sometimes I just forget. So definitely charge it to my mind and not to my heart. But if I am nothing else, I am a supporter, because I believe we can all win. There is enough out here for all of us. And one thing I know nobody can compete with me at being is me. So as long as I'm consistently being me, I don't have to worry about any competition. I don't care if we're doing and talking about the same things. It's okay. I'm going to share you out. I also believe that it's truly a blessing to be a blessing. The more I give and pour out to other people, it is going to be given back to me in some way, shape, or form. And we can't always look at support as giving as this tit for tat. We talked about this earlier in the week or last week, whatever, that support looks different for everybody. But just the fact that someone refers you to somebody, that's support. Just the fact that somebody leaves a comment for you, that's support. They hit the like button, that's support. Do not look over those things and make them seem small just because it's not the support that you want. Like I was saying earlier, sometimes in that moment, in that time, that was all that person had to give. And just the fact that they thought enough of you to stop what they were doing, even if it was just to give that like, appreciate that support. Appreciate that support. And don't expect it. Okay, just saying hi to everybody. Yeah, there is absolutely no competition at all. The only person that I compete with is the person I was yesterday. I just strive to be a better me every single day. And you know what? I don't even always hit the mark on that. And so I'm consumed enough with getting me to where I want to be. I can't be competing with nobody else. Yes, it is. It's everything. It's everything. Hey, Shar, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Good to see your face in the place. I'm going to be in the Bergie in a couple of weeks, girl, so maybe we could do lunch or brunch or something. I'm only going to be there for 4 days, but I definitely will let you know when I'm there. I would love to see you. Haven't been home in years, so that would be great. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all so much for checking out my sister's book. Again, if you just tuned in, Why Is Everything So Loud by Margot H. Towner is on Amazon. It is absolutely free today. All that she's asking is that you go on Amazon, download the ebook or the Kindle version or whatever for free, but just leave a review, because reviews mean a lot, and it lets Amazon know that she is putting out quality product that people are interested in, because I definitely believe that this is a book that will help families. It'll help classrooms. I'm trying to see this book be everywhere, in our libraries, in our elementary schools, in our homes that we need it. And again, don't think, oh, I don't know anybody with special needs. Well, you know somebody who knows somebody who's special needs. You know that these kids are going to school and they're going to encounter special needs kids. So don't think it's a book just for people for special needs. It is an educational, it's a tool, it's something to help get our kids acclimated to be around people who are different from them. Trish said, Stae, I just left a cosmetology event that talked about cosmetology being a $1 billion industry, enough room for all of us. And that is important for us to work and support each other. Same thing on YouTube. Yes, definitely enough room for all of us. And we all have different ideas and different, things that we can add. We have to be more into collaboration than competition, because that's how we expand. Oh, thank you, Mama Gina. And Mama Gina is a huge supporter of the Lifer Tribe. Mama Gina has the Stae Hall books. I just love her, her and her mom. Her mom is so, so sweet and a part of the Lifer Tribe. I'm definitely getting it. Oh, Cousin Rhonda, I know you're going to get it. She's a huge supporter as well of all things Stae and Margot. Trish, I can't wait till you get your shop. I know I can't wait. Trish is awesome. And congratulations, Trish, on meeting the mark and becoming monetized. Yes, yes, yes. Your hard work paid off, girl, because I know getting on live all the time, sometimes that can be taxing, but you showed up and did your thug thizzle and got those watched hours. So it is so, so, so cool. And did I put this? Margot was saying, and you can also donate the book. So if you want to, I forgot to mention churches, because a lot of churches have kids with special needs and, things like that. But yeah, you can definitely donate the book as well. Thank you, Sunshine. I appreciate you. And you are a awesome supporter. I see the way you support our girl Neek and show up. And it's cool. I mean, I don't know. It's just something about building that community, building that tribe. And that's the thing too about social media. It allows you the opportunity that we didn't have in the past, where you can actually find your people outside of your normal place. Like, I have built a whole tribe of people who love and support me, who show up for me. And that's because I branched out and I considered the fact that maybe my people weren't right in front of my face, but I found my people and I love it. I love it. And so don't necessarily think that your people have to be those people you grew up with, the people you were raised with. Don't overlook the people who are there wanting to support you, who are like-minded and want to see you grow and thrive. Don't discount them because you're trying to force that support from somewhere where maybe they're just not capable. Yes, everybody, congratulate Trish. That is, no small feat, because for those of you who are there, the work that it took to get there. And for those of us who are still trying to get there, we know the work that it's taken. But, you got to do the work. You got to do the work. Nothing worth having comes easy. There's always going to be some bumps in the road. But like I said, if you're truly passionate about it and you believe that you are walking in your truth and in your passion, stay the course. It's worth it. And don't let, even though, of course, we're striving for numbers with a lot of things, but the thing is, the numbers can't be what's most important to you. It can't. Whether it's numbers as far as your likes, your comments, your watched hours, or if it's numbers in the bank account because you work a regular job, the numbers can't ever be what's most important to you. And it feels so much better when it's beyond the numbers. Oh, just stopped by Amazon and supported your sis. Thank you so much. I thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart. It really means a lot to me that y'all are willing to do that. And just remember to leave your little reviews. It doesn't have to be a long review. I mean, you can just say, great book, and just give the 5 stars. Because again, I know that your time is valuable. I respect your time. So whatever you can muster up the energy to do, because I know is, the work is your passion for sure. And I know I taste the love and passion in your food, Mama Gina. No doubt about it. But anything y'all can say, like I said, just give it a thumbs up, say it's great. Whatever you want to say. You don't have to write a whole dissertation like I did. Thank you. Reviews mean so much. Yeah, thank y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. What you say, Cece? And if you have more than 32 cents in the bank, you have more than your homeboy. Right. More than 30. Cece, I swear that man could not, anybody with that much money. Like I said, either he was really, really arrogant and his whole self-worth was in his net worth, or he ain't have a dime and he just needed that $3. And if that's the case, just say that, or just come in and say, I need my $3 and don't give. But I'm with you, Cece. He got 32 cents in the bank. But thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Laughing at Cece. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. You just don't know how much this means to me. Not only that you're willing to support me, but your love for me and your trust for me allows you to be willing to support my sister as well. That really means a lot. So I am going to talk to her and see if she wants to come up and chat with y'all one day on the screen. Let me see. Oh, thank you, CC. I appreciate it. Stae, I actually have a business that covers the Dallas and Memphis area. I'll send you the website to check it out if you don't mind. Absolutely. I got to see who that is. It's somebody on Facebook. The name will pop up sooner or later, but yeah, Facebook and YouTube don't play together. That's why I tell everybody, if you can, jump on over to YouTube, because that's where I'm mainly streaming from. These are just kind of extra on the Facebook. But yeah, if you could jump over to YouTube and just subscribe to the channel, and in that way I'll always know who it is. But I will eventually know who this comment is from, because it will pop up eventually on one side or the other. So, but whoever it is, I don't mind if you send me the website. I do not mind at all, and I will check it out. Or if you just want to put your name in the chat to let me know who you are now, or I will see it. I'll see it later. One or the other. It's fine. But I'm definitely going to check it out when you send it to me. But yeah, y'all, I'm getting ready to jump off here and make this salmon so that I can. Oh, that was you, Sunshine. Okay, so why is your name popping up sometimes and sometimes it's not? Okay, Sunshine. Yeah, absolutely. Send it to me. Send it to me. We can't help it. You're infectious with all the knowledge running through your brain. You teach so much needed wisdom and useful knowledge. Thank you so much. See, and that's what I do it for, because I've shared with y'all some of my struggles. So just knowing that the things I've been through and what I've learned along the way, me sharing it can impact and help somebody else, man, that's what does it for me right there. That is what does it for me. So thank you, Tapped In. I appreciate you so much. Oh, thank you so much. Growing what I eat. Well, y'all know I'm going to be back on here tomorrow, so I am not going to talk y'all to death for the rest of the night. Plus, I'm hungry. I have not eaten today, so I'm going to get this salmon in here. But y'all know I appreciate you so much, each and every one of you. Thank you for all that you do. Keep on shining. Always be kind and love one another, but don't forget to live your life. L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Living life is strange. Hey, hey. 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 Love yourself first explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dreams. Living life is strange. Hey, hey. Living life